Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for Arsenal's 2-1 loss to Wolves. I actually can't believe I'm saying that. After those first 10 minutes, I was like, here we go, more 10s and 9s from WSL and HJ90, but that did not turn as we expected it to turn. We ended up losing 2-1, as you can see on screen. Very, very surprisingly, we should have been 5-0 up. Not in the first half, in the first 20 minutes, we should have been 5-0 up, to be fair. So it's going to be a tough ratings to do a tough match reaction. As well as that, United have won 9-0 and probably broken or equaled the record for the biggest win in the Premier League. Same with Leicester against Southampton a couple of years ago. Not good for us. Not a good Tuesday for us. WSL, how are you?
Not good, not good.
Yeah. Terrible day of football. I wish Saturday could have been like right away. HJ, how are you?
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I've done it again. I keep doing this. But yeah, I'm all right. I thought I'd calm down, but I have. But it's still one of them ones. It's still annoying, the fact that we did get 2 red cards when we thought we'd learned our lesson, especially David Luiz.
2 red cards again, just when you thought everything was positive, and then the January transfer window closes like this, and then the next day you just realize you still have a couple of more deadwood players in your team. But yeah, it was a sad day. We should have been 5-0 up in the first 15 minutes, but yeah, it didn't turn out the way we expected it to turn out to be. So first thing I'm going to talk about is the lineup. WSL, or do you make of the lineup?
I was really happy with it. I think we all were. It was the strongest lineup we could have put out because we already knew Kieran Tierney wasn't going to be available. So out of everybody available, it was the strongest lineup. You know, Saka, I didn't expect Saka to actually be in there, but he was. That excited me. I saw a lot of people say that Pepe shouldn't have played. I think he should have, and I think today he once again proved why he should have played. But yeah, you look at that lineup and you look at the result, not good enough, man. Not good enough.
Not good enough. HJ, how about you? Any surprises in the lineup?
No, I thought that was the lineup. There was only one change from the United game. That was Saka came in for Martinelli. That was expected, so I was happy with the lineup.
AUBAMEYANG not starting WSL?
Yeah, I agreed with that. You know, we don't know really what's been going on with him, whether the COVID tests, you know, anything like that. We don't know how long he's been in the country for, how long he's been training for. Yeah. So I think precautionary wise, putting him on the bench is a wise idea.
Okay, and did you want Martinelli to start, HJ?
Possibly not. I think I would have kept him on the bench only because Pepe is playing well, and obviously Saka is coming back into the team, so obviously would have started him. So I think in the space of the squad, you know, in terms of competition wise, there wasn't any place in the starting 11 for Martinelli today. So again, on the bench.
That's the strong. Yeah, I'm gonna put the bench on screen in a few, but that's the strongest bench we've had in a while, WSL, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is the one thing that excited me when we loaned out Willock and Maitland-Niles. It's that Arteta wasn't allowed to pick them on the bench. I think Willock being on the bench for so long was just a mockery. I don't think he's really earned his place on the bench, which is why he's gone out on loan. But Ceballos coming back in, again, I thought that one was a little bit surprising because he was meant to be quite far back in his injury line. And to be honest, I don't think he was going to ever come on today anyway. I think it was more of a we just need someone to sit on the bench. So he was never going to play. But yeah, on paper, it looked really strong. But it didn't really matter in the end of the day because 2 of the substitutions were because of red cards. So, but it was a good bench, yeah.
Yeah, we never got to see that bench. We never got to see us utilizing that bench anyway. And then again, we could see you are still short of left backs and right backs on the bench. HJ Chambers still good enough to be at Arsenal?
No, we've not really seen him, have we, since his injury? So I can't really give an opinion right now.
So you're okay with him being on the bench, or you're just like not going to say anything about him? Because I really don't think he's that good enough.
He's not been called upon. He hasn't been called upon, so I'll make a judgment when he's been called upon. But he's a decent player. When he did play for us, he was pretty decent. Again, he's quite versatile. Can play centre back, right backs, CDM. So yeah, decent player to on the bench.
How about the setup of the team, WSL? Formation wise, position wise?
Yeah, I think it's the best that we could have gone for. I think Pepe on the left, he looks better on the left and in the middle. And I think Saka obviously looks better on the right. Yeah, I think it's a perfect format. You know, I think it was expected formation. Obviously, he wants to play a 4-3-3, or at least a 4-2-3-1, and that's what he played today. So yeah, formation-wise, it was good.
Pepe on the left again, HJ?
Agreed, because he played well. He's playing well on the left-hand side, and it was good that he got the goal as well. I'll get onto that, but Saka was obviously going to come in on the right-hand side, so Pepe can play on the left, and we did today.
WSL, personally, which is your favorite formation?
For Arsenal, I'd probably go with the 4-2-3-1. But if I'm picking just a favorite formation for football, I'm probably going to go for a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond. I prefer to have two strikers. I think two strikers really make, you know, a team what they are. I think if you have two very good strikers, one pacey striker, and then a striker that's going to be a bit more creative, I think that's a better formation. But for Arsenal, 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, definitely.
Okay, so the game started. We are feeling good about ourselves. We're expecting a win. And within 40 seconds, HJ, Saka is through. What were you thinking when you saw him getting through to the Thomas Partey pass? Were you thinking goal or cross it? Or
I was thinking goal. What a pass from Thomas Partey. That was sensational. And I thought, Saka just didn't get any curl on it. He just sort of slashed it across and hit the post. If you got a tiny bit of curl on it, that's going in. Just a tiny bit of curl that goes in. So unlucky.
That's a good chance, WSL, right? Or do you, if it was the right footer, let's say they have scored?
Yeah, I think he should have scored it, personally. I think the position that he was in, he's got to score that. A lot of people say that Saka plays not like he's 19, that he plays, you know, more than what his age actually is. That he's very mature. So if you're going to have a go at, I'm not saying that we have to ridicule him or anything, but come on, man, he's got to score that seriously. I think it's when you look back at it as well, it annoys me a little bit more that he didn't score it, because it's the manner of what the goal would have meant. If we'd have scored in the first 30 seconds, I think the game would have been over. I think Wolves fans would have agreed, because they aren't going to come back from that. Wolves are in a horrible bit of form. Yeah, I think the game, it'd have been finished. So obviously that miss, you look back at it now and you say he's got to score that. But yeah, the pass from Thomas Partey, man, is wonderful. It was a great pass. Yeah,
it's been such a while since we scored in the first minutes. Can you even remember the last time we did it?
Yeah, I just have Man United fans bantering me on DMs, so it's not good. But
yeah, it's going to be a long week.
Yeah, it's not good. But look, he has to be put in that way, because I think as a whole in that half, in that first 44 minutes, we could have been 3-0, 4-0 up, and then suddenly, even if you lose two men, and you know it's not the biggest deal, but yeah, it's frustrating.
Very, very frustrating. And then after a couple of minutes again, WSL, we got another chance again. Saka hitting it after 2 minutes again, and the keeper saved it. Another good chance, or did he take it well?
Yeah, I think that one was a bit more. He wasn't really going to be able to score from that. I think goalkeeper made a decent save, and I think it was a decent shot. But yeah.
HJ?
Say that again?
That shot from Saka in the 3rd minute.
Oh, yeah. Again, that was a good one. I didn't expect him to hit that one, to be honest. I thought he was gonna maybe take him another touch, pass it back. But he took the shot on, and I think it was a very good save from the goalkeeper Patricio. But I think a tiny bit more in the corner, and that would have gone in.
So he kept on pushing and pushing and pushing, and then finally Saka got a goal. Or at least we did think he got a goal, WSL.
Yeah, I think it was a wonderful goal. Like, let's be honest. I know tonight Man United fans are going to give us all the banter. They're going to say, you know, Greenwood's better than Saka and all this. But come on, man, what a goal. You got to remember he's hitting that with his weak foot as well. He's a left-footed player, and he's absolutely smashed it with his right foot. At first, I actually thought it was Thomas Partey, but when it was Saka, that kind of shocked me, because I thought, Saka's not right-footed. You know, how is he hitting that? Which is kind of why I thought it was Partey, because obviously he's right-footed. But yeah, it was a great goal. The initial, I think it was CEDRIC's cross into LACAZETTE. Obviously unlucky that it was offside, but I mean, again, it's another one of those where you think it's just a missed opportunity. If we'd have scored that goal and then Pepe would have gone and scored later on, game would have been over. But
good pass from LACAZETTE, HJ.
Yeah, it was a good pass. I think that's for Patos.
From Cedric to Lacazette to Saka.
Yeah,
that's touched.
I think that's the thing with Lacazette. His hold up play is pretty good, and just giving the ball away, giving it to the players like Pepe, Saka. But why did Arteta take him off at halftime? He was one of the players that was linking up the play between the wide players. So why do you take him off? That's the one thing I'll blame Arteta for today. Why did you bring Lacazette off when we needed that kind of player in the team? But yeah, good pass from him.
And then finally, the goal arrives. WSL. How did you make of it? Did you expect it to come from Pepe?
I didn't think it would come from Pepe. If anything, I thought Saka was going to score a goal because obviously he had two amazing chances to score. 3 if you count the one that Patricio saved. But yeah, I mean, Pepe, like a lot of people are going to forget Pepe's performance tonight because obviously the way that we lost and the fact that we did lose, but he was really good again. You know, he was creating a lot of play. The goal, he skinned, you know, he put one of the, I'll just say this, the player that fell over, I think the referee was initially looking at a possible foul. The player was dragging Pepe down. He grabbed his arm and he was pulling him to the floor. And the fact that Pepe, and I said this when he scored against Southampton, Pepe could have gone down for a penalty when he scored against Southampton. And I thought that maybe a few months ago he would have done. But he stayed on his feet and instead he decided to go for goal, and he did the exact same thing today. He could have gone down for the penalty because it was a blatant penalty. VAR would have given it. But now he stayed on his feet. Again, like Saka did, he hit it on his weak foot, and what a hit. Like, try saving that one. But
weaker foot. You always say about that, like he doesn't shoot with his right foot.
This is why I think he's got to be on the left side. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's that good with his right foot. I think that was more just a 1 in 100. But he's scored twice now on the left side in the last 3 games. He's barely scored on the right this season. So he's got to play down the left or in the middle. But he's got to carry on playing for me. That's the one thing. He's got to carry on playing. He's got to get a few more games.
Yeah, how did you make of the goal?
I said this all along with Pepe. Give him a consistent run, give him consistency, and lo and behold, he's performing. And that's what we saw again today. He scored the goal, the opening goal. What a goal it was! He took one man on, stayed on his feet, as WSL said, and then makes another one. Who was again on the floor somehow, and then he bends it in with the right, and no chance for Patricio. And again, a good goal from him. Keeps his confidence going, even though we did lose today. But we just have to see how it continues with Pepe. Just keep him playing.
Is it us giving him time to play, or is it us finding the right position for him to play?
I think it's more consistency because, again, he seems, I don't like to say this word, but he seems like one of them confidence players. When he's in confidence, he's going to get 0s out of 10s. When he is in confidence, he'll get good high ratings. But yeah, with Pepe, he just needs to keep playing consistently. And if he's doing well on the left-hand side, play him on the left-hand side. I don't want to see in the next game Arteta play, let's go Martinelli now. Stick with Pepe because that's what's working.
Yeah, I don't like... Aubameyang has been great, but if that means replacing Pepe on the left side, I don't want to see Aubameyang in the team. You either put Aubameyang down, or you put him on the right, or you put him in the middle. But you do not, not even just taking Pepe out of the team. You do not move him from that left side. He's got to stay on that left side now. So Arteta's got a bit of a dilemma on his hands. Like I'd actually replace Lacazette, but we'll get into Lacazette later. But yeah.
How many goals should you have realistically had in that first half, WSL?
The club, as in like Arsenal, we should have had at least 3 or 4. Let's be honest. You know, I've seen a lot of people say 6 or 7. Yeah, but clear-cut chances, as in it's a goal or it isn't. Yeah, Saka's bar hit. As I said, I think that's got to go in. I think the offside goal, it's not unlucky in terms of it's an unlucky offside. It's just unlucky that it was offside.
Yeah.
And again, Partey, he played a good few balls forward that I think we should have done better with. There was one chance when Saka... I think it was another Partey ball over to him. He put it on his left foot and he kicked it into the box. And Lacazette just mistimed the run and he just missed the ball. At least 3-0. At least 3-0.
Yeah, HJ, there's a time Traore was literally running on us, and then Partey picked up a yellow card. Very good yellow card to take, right? Yeah,
definitely. Because and I think that's one of the reasons he got pulled off, Partey, because you don't want another red card to probably who was our man of the match today in Thomas Partey. He was brilliant. And unfortunately, some clowns around him in the defence let him down with 2 red cards. And with Partey, he took one for the team. And that was good because Adamo was on the break. Adama was
I
on the
can't
break.
believe.
You could have made something of that. So good one to
I
take.
literally can't believe our luck, literally. I just feel like that first half was just terrible. Like, in the first 10 minutes, we should have had 3 goals, literally. We should have had 3 goals, so I just don't understand what we did. So, and then the next topic is what you've been waiting for, WSL, David Luiz, red card. Right before we even get into the red card, we let them have the ball very easily to get a one-on-one chance.
I don't blame David Luiz. I don't think you actually can give me a reason why. You can blame him for getting the red card and costing us the game all you want. But in terms of the actual red card itself and the penalty that was given away, the only thing that you can really say that was wrong was his positioning, possibly. But come on now, seriously, that's not a red card. You give the penalty all you want, right? Give the penalty all you want. But red card, seriously? For me, it wasn't the penalty that actually made us lose the game. It was the fact that David Luiz went off. I mean, yeah, look there. Just look at that. David Luiz, explain to me how that bit of contact like halts or different, like makes it different for you taking a shot. How does that change what you're going to do on the attack?
Because it took him off balance and it's denied a clear goal scoring opportunity. And in the letter of the law, that's fine. That's not attempting the ball because he's getting
that's fine. That's fine. But John Terry, an ex-Premier League centre-back who hates Arsenal because obviously he's a Chelsea player, he even said that's not a red card. He's a player who is an assistant manager for Aston Villa. He used to play by the rules that have now been changed for no reason. And also he's an Arsenal rival and he's saying the same thing that many Arsenal fans are saying. No, but this is the thing. The referees aren't referees anymore. The referees are like policemen. They just enforce the rules made by FIFA and by the FA. The referees don't.
On the rest go on FA because the referees
exactly.
Just
this is what I was going to come to. For me, it's not the referee. We're going to get on to the referee later because don't get me wrong, he was awful. But David Luiz chance, by the law that was written, it's a red card because now they changed it from if it's intentional, it's a red card. If it isn't, it's a yellow. To it doesn't matter whether it's intentional or not. It's a straight red. The rule is wrong. I'm sorry, that rule is stupid because David Luiz, it was an accident. David Luiz was already falling over. He tripped over and he was falling. So, and as well, the same thing is, what's David Luiz meant to do? Let Willian Jose run on goal and score? Is he not even allowed to try to attempt to stop him? It's stupid. The rule is wrong. And the worst thing is about the rules for me is that the people who write these rules don't even play football. They just care about money. They're just businessmen, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, the rules are the rules. The referee follows the rules and David Luiz got sent off. But I don't agree with the rules. I'm not the only one. I've seen a load of Arsenal fans and even rival fans say that it's stupid. It wasn't a red card. The rule's wrong. The rule needs changing. And VAR especially needs to be looked at because VAR should have looked at that and said, you know, the referee didn't even go and look. The referee was adamant that was a red card. Like, he didn't even go and look at the screen. It's unbelievable, really. But I think the rule's wrong. I don't blame the referee for the red card. I blame the rules.
Sadly, we are going to force that to be used as an example. Remember when Aston Villa, like that offside against City, when it was definite offside and they let it stand? They're going to change this after you've already suffered from it.
They have to. At least it's changed. As long as, for me, the rule has to go back to the intentional. If it's intentional, it gets sent off. If it isn't, it's a yellow card. I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty. I'm accepting it was a penalty, but I just want to mention as well, there was a penalty challenge on Saka where Willy Bolly stood on his foot in the penalty box. He didn't even try. He didn't even try. I don't think it was much of a penalty either. But if that's not even being looked at, because it wasn't, it was just straight moved on. How is he getting a straight red card without even taking a look at really? Like it's just the rules. They just bend them for me, and the rules are just wrong. But
Cookie says we were robbed. Aki says the referee was biased. So H, do you think it was a red card?
Yes, because the letter. I'm gonna follow the letter of the law. It's another conversation whether everyone in the chat, everyone that I've seen is saying, oh, the referee's this, the referee's this, the referee's this, the referee's this. Literally slagging him off. This is the same referee. But do you remember the game 2017, Man City Arsenal semi-final? How many decisions went wrong that day? Same referee, Craig Paulson. I know it's just a comparison, but I'm not one that goes on referees. I have never done that. I'm not gonna today because he follows the letter of the law. If you're not go on anyone, go on the FA, go on them lot. But slagging off the referee isn't what we should be doing, because the letter of the law says denial of a goal scoring opportunity, no intention of playing the ball. He had none of those. He denied a goal scoring opportunity, and there's no intention of David Luiz playing the ball. So in the letter of the law, what's been written, that is a red card, and the referee is just enforcing that. And you have to look at it again. How many red cards would David Luiz is going to get? You have to look at the player as well. Why does he keep getting himself in these situations? That's what really gives me the ick with him, David Luiz. Because WSL said the other day, he's such a good defender. But I told him, he'll give you moments like that, where he'll just ruin the game for you in an instant like that.
Okay, so I don't blame David Luiz for this one. This is the first time I don't, because it was definitely not intentional. He did not want to foul him. He did not even try to foul him. He just went across him and hit. Literally, where did he even hit? Did he hit like?
It's the slightest little bit. It's not even. It's more of his studs. If you actually look really closely, he only touches his stud. It's not even his. It's not even his heel. It's his studs.
Okay, so HJ, it's fine. It's fine if you think it's a red card, but this is where I'm really going to be like very, very mad, because fine, that is a red card, no problem. Okay, explain to me how Fernandez last week did that to our player and did not get a yellow card. This is why.
That's the problem with the system.
Let me just bring up 3 decisions, and then I'll let you guys talk. This was definite red card. He did not give a yellow card. He did not give a yellow card. Yeah. Fine.
Yep.
I can understand that. The previous season, Alexander Arnold did that.
I remember that one.
Still no red card. Did he even get a yellow card? I don't remember.
No, he
and
didn't.
Then Mane literally hit Tierney like that. Like, was it Tierney or I don't remember, but Mane did that.
Yeah.
Or did even get? They never even checked it, as WSL has pointed out about the SAKA penalty. They did not even check it. Why does it every time it comes to Arsenal?
Based on opinion. This is based on opinion. Those 3, for examples you've given, the referees were all different that day. That's the problem. Decisions now are based on opinion, and in some cases, it's an opinion, but they're using the letter of the law. Then not every decision can be perfect, but again, what can you do? It's just luck, isn't it? It's just you can't do anything about it.
Based on opinion, okay. 90% of decisions are going wrong. Okay, let me tell you something about based on opinion. John Moss, you say John Moss was the 4th official.
He was the VAR referee today. Yeah,
I don't know who it was.
John Moss was also involved in that game. So if it is based on opinion, then John Moss is also the same guy that has given XHAKA like 3 red cards in the Premier League. Because I'm starting to believe really there's an agenda against Arsenal from these referees. I have to believe that.
Because
there's literally no way they don't go and check it.
Can I just quickly say as well, it's not even just the fact that the red cards that we haven't been that other teams have been given for doing stuff to us. Look at some of the red cards we had. Eddie Nketiah's red card against Leicester, when he apparently high kicked one of the players. He didn't even touch him. It was more of the fact that he would have touched him, but he didn't. Let's have a look at the Jamie Vardy one when he went down to a Mustafi tackle and kicked him in the face. Mustafi had to get stitches. So the referee can say, oh yeah, but he didn't actually touch him. Well, he did, because he had to get stitches. He was kicked in the face. That's a straight red card. So it's the fact that the amount, I'm not blaming the referees for the way our season's gone out, but I'll blame the referee today, because the referee, he was an awful referee, by the way. Not even just for the Luiz and the Leno red cards, but look at, there was, right before Luiz got red carded, the ball was kicked out for a corner. He gave a throw-in to Wolves. It was like Wolves got, it was meant to be a Wolves corner, and he gave a throw-in. That's inexcusable. Like, it was a blatant corner. The referee today was absolutely shocking, not just for the red cards. You take the red cards out of it and he was still awful. But the thing is, he won't get punished. He won't get suspended. He won't get relegated to the Championship. He'll stay where he is in his job, and they'll act like nothing happened and that he did his job correctly. The rules are wrong. The David Luiz one, I don't blame the referee.
How is that the referee's fault then? That's the FA's fault.
I'm not blaming the referee for David Luiz, but I'm blaming him for other stupidness. Like, I'm sorry, the ball went out for a corner and he gave a throw-in.
Yeah,
there was a time as well, the linesman blew for offside and put a flag down. He waved it off. How do you wave an offside without even looking at it? And as well, I'm not blaming this for the red card for David Luiz, but the minutes, the referee gave 2 minutes of added time and he was going to blow his whistle on 47 minutes. He then played on for 40 seconds.
That's one thing you do blame the referee on. That's one thing. I agree. That's one thing you can blame the referee for. Because I switched off my TV when the ball went.
The rules
when it went out for the goal kick, I switched off my TV because I thought that's the half done. As soon as the ball's going to get kicked out, the half's going to be over.
He was going to blow it. He had his whistle in his mouth and then he stopped.
So let me ask you, HJ, do you think if that foul occurred in a Manchester United game, they would have reviewed it?
Yes, everyone on Twitter and everything saying it's all biased towards United, but I don't really know what to think of it, to be honest. It's just how it is. Sometimes things just don't go your way. You just have to hold your hands up. And
90% of the times.
Okay. Let me put it this way: if this exact situation was on the other side of the pitch, you would put Arsenal fans everywhere would be saying, "Oh, it's deny a goal scoring opportunity." They would be literally reading rules off the rule book and saying this was red card and it was a penalty.
But I wouldn't mind if he goes and checks on the screen. That's what I want him to do.
Yeah,
the biasness. Yes, you're gonna, as an Arsenal fan, you're gonna argue that. But let's just, like, even United fans are saying that, oh yeah, these were 100% red cards. You're all just talking shit, this and that. United fans who are saying this, just take your biased hat off for 1 second and just put yourself in the eyes of a neutral fan. That was not a red card. I've had Chelsea fans, Tottenham fans even saying on Twitter it isn't a red card, and if it was a red card for their team, they'd be fuming. The other thing as well is, if you're a person who's never watched football before, yeah, this is the first game you're ever watching of English Premier League football, you see these refereeing decisions, you're going to think, what the living hell is going on? You're going to be so confused because there's rules being thrown out. The commentators are arguing. People on Twitter are arguing. The players are arguing. It's all just a massive bag of just rubbish. The rules need changing. The FA needs to be looked at. And I'm sorry, you can say the referees just follow the rules. They're not good enough. Yeah, I watch a lot of women's football. They follow the exact same rules as the men. The women's referees are 20 times better. I'm sorry, they are. I watch a lot of Bundesliga. They're better. Like, the referees just aren't good enough, but the rules aren't either.
So I want to ask you this before we move on, because I think we could sit here all day talking about referees and VAR.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, definitely.
But how would you fix this? What would you fix? Certain decision in that game, yes, I agree, was the referee's fault. For that penalty decision, I put it on FA and those people who write the rules, because in my opinion, I think things like denial of goal scoring opportunity, things like intention to play the ball, it's all what you look at it and perceive it as. One person might think it's not. One thing, person, it's not clear enough. It's every decision is different, and they're always going to be different things. But what do you do to change it?
Well, I don't think you can. Let's be honest. I think the one thing that a lot of people will say is if all the fans get together and protest, etc., then you might be able to change it. First off, the fans are never going to do that because, example, right now, Arsenal fans are saying it wasn't a penalty. United fans are. The fans are never going to be able to agree.
Oh, by then, no one saying it's not a penalty
because of rivalries. And then you've also got to look at the FA as a whole. They don't give a crap about the fans. They only care about the money they're raking in. And they're raking in stupid money. So at the end of the day, I genuinely think this. I think their goal is to make football a non-contact sport. Over the years, football has got less and less. It's got weaker and weaker and weaker. It's got weaker and weaker. Look at it. It's got weaker and weaker and weaker. Maybe not a non-contact sport, but it's going to the stage where... It's going to the stage where you aren't going to be allowed to tackle a player like properly. Like, for example, like look at just 10 years ago, for example. You have Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane fighting in the tunnel. You have, all these fights and awful tackles, and they're not even being given as red cards. In nowadays football, you can clip a player accidentally. You're getting straight sent off. It's pathetic. Football's going down a route of just let's just do less and less contact. And like you said, if they ever do that, the sport will die because that's not, people want to see contact. They want to see good tackles and these crunching tackles and the fights and stuff. But as I said, for the FA and stuff, it's all about the money. The people who make these rules, they don't know anything about football. They just know about making money. So for them, the rule makers they're just awful.
So FIFA implemented the rules, HJ, but why did the referee not go use the monitor? Like the FIFA guys don't tell you when and when not to use it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he would have changed it because on the letter of the law, that was still a red card and a penalty. So I think the referee still would have given it. But just on WSO's point, if it becomes that point where football becomes on contact, it will kill the game. Because I know myself as a player, it would kill my style of play because I like to be physical in the box. Give one person a nudge. It will kill the entire sport. Because, you know, it will become all about, tippy-tappy athleticism. It will just become about who can run the fast, who has the better skills. It won't be about physicality anymore. And I think that will ruin the game. But we'll just have to see. But,
physical in the box.
Yeah, we've got to move on because we could genuinely talk about this for a good few days.
HJ Benteke, okay. A physical in the box, I see you. Then Neves penalty, WSL, no chance of the penalty?
Nah, what a penalty.
What fines for yellow cards against Sunday, mate?
When I first watched it, I actually thought it went over the bar. I genuinely be honest. But yeah, what a penalty. I mean,
I didn't see the penalty. I was
top corner, top corner penalty. Like, I see people saying, "Oh, Leno should have saved it." You know, Leno's not as good as De Gea because he didn't save it. Well, mate, no goalkeeper saving that. You could get prime Led Yashin and all these lot. They ain't saving that penalty. What a penalty from Neves, seriously.
Okay, and then halftime, HJ, what sub did you want to come on and who did you want to go off?
I would have probably taken off Emile Smith-Rowe instead of Lacazette. As I said earlier, Lacazette, I mentioned this earlier, the Lacazette thing, you know, he would have, I mean, like, he provides that link-up play in and around, could have dropped deep, you could have done more than, you know, why was he, I don't know why he was taken off, to be honest. I would have taken Smith-Rowe off because then you keep the onus on XHAKA, Partey to create from midfield, and Partey was already doing that, remember, with the long passes. So yeah, that was probably one decision Arteta got wrong. But other than that, I don't think Arteta did much wrong. I think what he was trying to do is pretty good. You can't blame two red cards on him at all.
Yeah, then let's say which sub did you want?
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying Lacazette wasn't the one to bring on. I don't really think it would have made a difference. I knew at 1-1, that was it. He was playing for a draw. I think, I don't know, like, yes, Gabriel had to come on, let's be honest. You had to bring a centre-back on. And I think he brought Lacazette off for one or two reasons. Either, A, he was playing for the draw and he wanted to go more defensively. But then B, he was probably more going for a counter-attacking football. I mean, I see a lot of people saying Lacazette's defensive, though, you know, keep him on for the defensive aspect. He was going for pure defence and then hitting him on the break. That wasn't going to work. Wolves don't get hit on the break as much as we actually would think. Like, they look how far back some of their defenders were sitting. Like, they were sitting in their own half when they were on the attack. Like, they were cautious about us hitting them on the break. So I think strategically that's poor from Arteta. And we'll get into Arteta a little bit more, but I don't blame him for today's loss. But I don't know if it was, obviously we don't know if it was the best decision or not because we've still lost. So
yeah, I'm not even mad. I just can't believe we lost that game. Like, I can't even blame anyone. By the way, I've said all that with the red cards and the referee HJ90, but I don't blame any of them. Like, I still can't believe we lost that game. And then the Moutinho goal, too easy.
The thing is, Glenn, one quickly thing, a lot of fans are making out we lost that game because of the referees. That's unacceptable. Why are Arsenal fans saying, oh, we lost because of referees? We think we did something. Why is Leno racing out like Superman, trying to slap, we'll get into Leno properly, but he's trying to slap the ball. What is he trying to do coming out the box?
I think we'd have lost even if Leno didn't do that. So that's why I'm just saying, like, I think it's a bad day.
We would have had one more man on the pitch, and I think we could have got one chance that could have changed the game. You can't say that for sure, but I still think we could have. But again, you can't really say much about that.
Moutinho goal, too easy?
What a goal.
Too much space?
Again, we were still a man down. We were quite depleted. So it was just a brilliant strike, to be honest.
WSL, that was the second goal we had conceded within 2 minutes.
Yeah, what a wonderful goal. But what I will say is this: Moutinho and Ruben Neves are two of the best midfielders for hitting long shot goals in the Premier League. Look at some of the old goals that Moutinho scored at Monaco. He's wonderful at hitting long shots. So my question to that is, if we, like, the players must surely know, and they must have surely been told before the game, Moutinho and Neves, they're going to hit long shots. Don't let them shoot. Yes, we're 10 men down. That does not excuse it for me, though, why we left him so open. For me, Granit Xhaka, he literally stood there and did nothing in an attempt to block it. We left him with the space. And again, some people are blaming Leno for not doing better. You go in goal and try and save that. Seriously, what a hit. Don't take away that that was an amazing goal. But in a defensive point of view, he wasn't pressured enough and he was way too open to shoot.
Yeah. And then basically the rest of the second half was a bit of just pass, all that until the Leno red card. But I don't want him to talk about Leno right now. We'll do it in the player ratings. So let's get straight into that. That's the next topic, the player ratings for the game.
Oh my God.
I'll save Leno for HD90 later. So WSL, I'll start with you. Player ratings, Leno.
0. What I will say with Leno and the red card is this. Him coming out was absolutely stupid. But why was CEDRIC not going for the ball? Was he told by Leno that, you know, I've got the ball, you know, keepers? Or was it the fact that CEDRIC wasn't quick enough to beat the ball? So Leno had to come out. Until I know that information, I can't actually say whether it was Leno, whether it was stupidity or whether it was he actually had to do it. But I will say this about the handball. He didn't mean to handball it. You know, we've all seen those funny...
No. I disagree. He slapped his hand across the book.
We've all seen those funny clips on YouTube of these goalkeepers coming out of their box and Superman punching the balls away, right? Leno is not that stupid. He's not that bad of a keeper, right? And if he is, then he needs selling immediately because that is not good enough if that is true that he meant to do it. I don't think he meant to do it. I think what happened was... And I'm kind of like Ty from AFTV here, you know, about the rain, but let's just take physics into a little bit of into hand for a second. The pitch is wet. The ball's going to bounce a little bit uncontrollably, and the ball hit his leg and into his hand. I'm not taking away the fact that it was stupid, but what I will say is this: the red card is given if the goalkeeper handles the ball outside the box. It's a red card if it stopped a possible goal scoring opportunity. You tell me how that was a possible goal scoring opportunity. Please.
Last man.
Like, no, but it's not a goal scoring opportunity because you've got to look. This referee has got to look in. He's got to look at this and he's got to say, right, last man. That's all wonderful, but if I think it was Traore, if he reached the ball. How is he scoring from that position? There was nobody to cross her. There was nobody to pass her. There's no way he's scoring from shooting from that distance, especially not Traore because he can't shoot. So for me, it's a matter of the referee has just said, oh, it's the last man, red card. That's it. Like, it's pathetic. And once again, they went to VAR. What are you going to VAR for? What's the point of going to VAR? You've given the red card anyway. It's just a joke. But yeah, he gets his... I don't blame him for the handball. It was stupidity. But 0. He got sent off. So 0.
HJ? Leno?
Yeah, I'm just watching the clip back again. And literally, I'm watching the clip from BT at the moment. And I'm looking at it.
Watch it. I might have to
it's
watch
last
it again.
man. It's literally last man. He is the last man. And it is a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So that's cleared out. When I'm looking at it, because I'll keep forwarding it back at it, he literally slaps his hand across his knee. That's inexcusable. He has attempted to play his hand on the ball. Which so-called German experienced top-class keeper does that? Why? Why are you doing that? You clearly know you're out of your box. So why are you doing that? Why? We sold our best goalkeeper to Aston Villa in the summer. You want to try prove yourself, you go and do that. And now we are stuck with Butterson because Ryan is injured. But just to clear that under, yeah, he's definitely off. Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely one either goal scoring.
My goodness. I saw someone tweeting right after that.
I thought RUNARSSON played well. He made some good saves. But we'll get onto that. But come on, that is just so bad from Leno.
Actually, yeah, I've just rewatched it. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I still don't think it was a goal scoring opportunity, but he's tried to hide it there. he's brought his knee up in an attempt to hide the fact that he's handballing it. He's an idiot.
In the world of VAR, you're trying to use your hand to try and hit the ball away so it could make it look like you're using your knee. Are you dumb? Are you seriously that dumb? I'll send you a link for now so you can rewatch it, but come on. Zero. Yeah.
Yeah, he still gets a 0.
So I wouldn't give him a 0. I'd probably kind of agree with Mr. BK in the chat, because in the first half,
I mean, he conceded twice though as well. You got to remember that. Yeah, the goals.
Yeah, he conceded twice. But there's some really good. Wolves had like 10 corners in that game, and he really handled like 7 of them very, very well in the air. Some good. He came for the ball a couple of times very, very well. So he did have a good game until a decent game until before Moutinho scored that goal. I think he should have saved it. And I thought that is a stupid red card. That literally doesn't just cost us for today. It costs us for the next 2 and 3 games. So
it's just one game. It's just one game. Both players are only suspended.
Yeah, it's one game. It's one game.
Yeah, so we've gotten so many red cards. I have no idea how many games these people are missing.
For Luiz's one, so he might still be here next game.
Oh, so for Leno, I'd give him I'd actually give him a 2, because I don't think he cost us the game. I think we still would have lost even if he didn't make that mistake.
How do you know that though? That's the thing. How do you know that though?
Yeah, but I can also say the same thing to you. So that's why I'm going according to what he had done before going off the pitch. So we're not judging from what he didn't do. So I'm gonna give him a 2, but you guys say 0. Marquez says 1. Russ says 1. 1 for Leno behavior. So that's a 0, I'm guessing. Okay, so we're gonna give him, I don't know, 0.5 or something. So, I mean, he came to the pitch and I hated the fact that he didn't even argue, because he knew he had made a mistake after getting that red card. So I think it's better moving on from Leno.
Well, exactly. He knew he did it, so he didn't try and argue with it. So
yeah, I saw someone tweeting right after that, we are not down to 9 men. Now that RUNARSSON is coming on the pitch, we are down to 8.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Oh goodness, we have Aston Villa and City next to. So it's thankfully said 1 game. So you missed Aston Villa 1. Wow, just Watkins and Grealish shooting at him. So let's hope Ryan. Let's hope Ryan does well in that one. And then the next one is BELLERIN, WSL.
I do not like BELLERIN, and I think you and all the fans know that. However, I'll give him his props today. I thought he was pretty poor in the first half, but to say that we played well in the first half. So by pretty poor, I mean he was still good. He was just poor in comparison to everybody else. Second half, I thought he really stepped up. Obviously, captain again.
Wow.
I still don't agree with him being captain. Even if Tierney and Aubameyang aren't there, give it to XHAKA, please, because XHAKA was getting in the referee's face quite a few times tonight. So I'd give it to XHAKA. But yeah, BELLERIN, I don't know. I'm still giving him a 3 because, again, he wasn't that good in the first half, and being good in the second half doesn't really mean anything because we still lost. But I thought he dealt with Neto quite well. There was a few times where Neto skinned him, but that was expected. Yeah. Neto's a world-class player, and BELLERIN isn't. So, but I thought he dealt with him moderately well. But yeah, 3. Just
3. Lost. HJ, BELLERIN.
So. BELLERIN, first half was average, probably a first half performance, probably a 5. And then second half, he got rinsed by Neto. But again, that's partly not his fault because we were down to first 10 men and then 9 men. So we got down to single digits in players. Wow. But BELLERIN second half got skinned by Neto, and again, that's expected. So what can you do? Again, my rating's the same, 3.
3, okay. I think I didn't even see him that much really. Cross says no. There's a time he ran in the first half, and then he was supposed to put in a cross, and then he shot the ball, and I don't know where it went. Did you guys see that? That was terrible, absolutely terrible. So his decision making sometimes.
Yeah, he should have passed it to SAKA, and he crossed it, didn't he? Yeah, that was a bit stupid.
And it went way off, like for a throw-in or something, and they were on to us. But we've got to that stage again. WSL, David Luiz.
David Luiz the clown.
Oh, come on, 0. He's got to have a 0. What I will say is, I'm giving him another year. I'm sorry, I am. A lot of people are going to say, but he gets too many red cards. Okay, that's acceptable. But these same people are also saying it wasn't a red card. So pick, choose your pick. You either A, say that Luiz gets too many red cards, or he didn't deserve a red card today. I don't think he did anything wrong today. I think defensively he was good until he got sent off. I think him getting sent off was very harsh. Don't forget he was man of the match against Man United as well, guys. Like, come on. Like, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, Arteta was stupid for playing him today. He was man of the match against Man United. You can't drop a guy who was man of the match against Manchester United. You can't do that. So I think him playing was acceptable. I think the red card was harsh, and I don't think he was particularly bad until the red card. I thought we dealt with Willie and Jose all game, even when the red card happened. I thought Willie and Jose was invisible. I didn't even see him, other than when he went down for the penalty. So again, I'll give him a 0 because he got sent off. But if he didn't get sent off, he'd be getting a decent 5 or 6. But yeah, 0. Man got sent off. So
that is not even what annoyed me the most, the red card. What annoyed me is the positioning. I can't believe Willie and Jose was 1-on-1 against a goalkeeper with literally, let's say the time was already passed, but let's say 5 seconds remaining in the first half, and Holding and Luiz had separated that much. That is what annoyed me the most, the positioning. So HJ, you don't like Luiz, what did you give him?
0. I think when you get down to 10 men, especially on the cusp of half time, and they get the equalizer, it just turns the game on its head. It just turns the game on its head, because now you know the chances of winning are so bleak. It's going to be so difficult. And as Arsenal fans, we've seen it so many times, especially under Arteta, that when you get the red card, what are the chances of us winning or even putting up much of a fight? I mean, we do, because we just put everyone behind the ball. But 0. What can I say? But again, he wasn't even that bad. But when you get a red card, it's a 0, automatic 0 in my eyes.
Okay, so Russ has a good point. So I did personally not give Leno a 0. I gave him a 2 because he was not useless before he got the red card, and he did not cost us the game. The game was, for me, I think we'd already have lost the game anyway. So for Luiz, he literally the wrong moment. Was it like?
Yeah, but it's for me, it's the fact that Leno actually deserved sending off. You know, he did. Like, again, I still don't agree with the fact that it was a goal scoring opportunity. But the fact that as a pro goalkeeper, who, by the way, he wants to be Germany's number 1. You can't be Germany's number 1 doing stuff like that. That's absolutely stupid. Again, I think it was harsh that it was a red card, but in terms of him putting himself in the predicament to get a red card was his fault, and it was stupidity. So for me, the fact alone that as a goalkeeper, you're coming out and handball, you're putting your hand on the ball, that is 0 itself. Even if he didn't get sent off, that is stupid, and that's a low score initially. But yeah, that's my reason for giving him a 0.
Okay, so both of them give them a 0. I give him a 2. The next one is Holding his defensive partner, HJ.
He's. I feel with Holding.
Tough one. Yeah.
When he comes up against tricky players, I think this is the best way to put it. When he comes up against technical, tricky players like Podence, Neto, Grealish, these kind of players, he crumbles. He just doesn't know what to do. He keeps holding off. He keeps doing some stupid little silly things. And I think he's been brilliant over the last few weeks. Today, he won that great. I'm not going to awfully slag him off because I don't think he did anything that was particularly detrimental to the result. So for today, I'll probably give him a 4.
A 4. So I forgot to bring up a stat from Leno. I did not actually know this. Leno is just the second goalkeeper to be sent off in a Premier League game for Arsenal. Can you imagine that? Since the 90s. So basically meaning Almunia never got a red card in the Premier League. Meaning, let me take that off Spain. Meaning the likes of Fabianski never got a red card. Meaning the likes of all those useless goalkeepers we had, none of them ever got a red card. Leno is just the second goalkeeper to get a red card in the Premier League for Arsenal. So that is absolutely crazy. So what did you give Holding, WSL?
I agree with Mr. BK. I'm going to go for a 5. I think Holding, again, first half, him and Luiz didn't really have anything to do. You know, they played well. They dealt with Jose. Yeah. I think Neto was quite dangerous, but when Holding, one thing he did was he won quite a few headers, which he never usually does. So I thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, you can't blame him at all for the loss. Neither of the goals were his fault. You know, it was Luiz, and then obviously I actually blame Granit Xhaka for the Moutinho goal, but you can't really blame anybody for that. It was just a wonderful hit. And And I mean, yeah, second half, I think when Gabriel came on, I was actually quite worried. I thought Gabriel was going to have another poor game, but he was quite good. And I think Holding, he stepped up to the plate as well when Luiz got sent off. So I give him a solid 5. It was just decent performance.
5. Okay, the next one is CEDRIC, HJ. CEDRIC, another good performance. So, okay, now before you even go to him, he was ripped apart by ROWE. I can't even blame him.
I think I expected that, to be honest. First half, he did. I'm not even gonna say an okay job. He did an okay, not an okay job, but not that great because Wolves. Adama didn't get into the game that much. I'm not sure if that was down to CEDRIC, but they did a lot of doubling up on Adama, and I think that was a tactic: get XHAKA or CEDRIC together, or get Pepe or CEDRIC together to try and get Adama. In the second half, well, Adama skinned him every single time. Skinned him
very easily.
Very easily, and it's just you kind of had it coming, to be honest. But for today, for CEDRIC, I'll have to give him a 2. What I can't really give him much more than that, only because he got skinned by a player that has no end product. He could have done more positionally to get back, try to sit deeper, because we were so deep in the second half, yet you're still getting skinned continuously. Like, how does that even work? But yeah, today, 2.
Joao says, what is wrong with Arsenal? I can tell you there's nothing. I think this is just a bad day in the office.
No,
we should have been 5-0 up in the first 20 minutes. I'm not blaming Arteta, I'm not blaming Saka, I'm not blaming Leno for this defeat. I think it was a bad day. Things didn't go our way today. But yeah, I think we'll bounce back. That should have been a win. At least this is the first time we've lost that you can really say we were unlucky, very unlucky. Not like the Aston Villa games or the Everton games where we literally just folded the entire game. But yeah, let's hope so. What did you give CEDRIC, WSL?
I'm going to go a bit higher. I'm going to give him a 5 as well. I actually thought he dealt with Adama really well. I think XHAKA helped him, but there was a few times when XHAKA mistimed a tackle and CEDRIC would just come straight in, take the ball off him and move forward. I would say in the first half, I did think that he was thinking that he was Roberto Carlos. There was a few times and he was bombing forward, taking a shot on goal.
Yeah.
But his crossing was pretty good, let's be honest. The cross to LACAZETTE for the SAKA goal that was offside. He was good. He was good going forward. I think CEDRIC was another one of those players that was let down by the red card. I thought he'd have had a solid performance today. Another good 8, maybe even a 9. But his number gets let down. I think Holding was another one. Would have been great today, but the number was let down. Adama was dealt with really well again. Yeah, I just give him a 5. I thought he was decent.
Okay, the next one, HJ XHAKA. I can hear people complimenting him.
XHAKA, what can I say, man? He's average. He's a bang average footballer, and today he showed that. He won all that. I'll be honest with you. He really won all that. He complimented PARTEY all right, because I thought PARTEY's pretty decent, especially the first 44 minutes. Nothing special from XHAKA. Yes, someone's saying he could have closed down Moutinho, this and that. It was just a good strike. Again, if he flung it into his row Z, you're not talking about it, are you? So, it's one of them ones. So for XHAKA, I'll give him a 5.
5, WSL?
Yeah, XHAKA, I think first half I thought he was quite good. I thought he dealt with Adama quite well with CEDRIC. I think he actually put more tackles in on CEDRIC than on Adama than CEDRIC did. Yeah, I think again he was decent first half. I think they all were quite decent first half. Like it was a good first half performance, but the Moutinho shot, don't get me wrong, again, it was a wonderful strike. And I'm not blaming XHAKA for not putting a foot in, but it's just the fact that I want him to at least attempt it. You know what I mean? Like, if it still goes in, but XHAKA's at least trying to block it, fair play. But he didn't. But again, it's 10 men. You don't know whether XHAKA was defending a different position. I don't really get. I need to have another look at it, I think. But like HJ said, he's just a bang average footballer. But what I will say is, captaincy wise, I think he was probably the best leader on the pitch tonight. I think the SAKA penalty, whether it was a penalty or not, he was getting in the referee's face. A few of the challenges that were given as yellow cards for Wolves, he was getting in the ref. I think he looked more like a leader than BELLERIN did today. And I think second half, when Luiz got sent off, I think he really stepped up. I think he was bossing, he was the one getting in the face. He was the one bossing the defenders about and telling them what to do. But yeah, I'll give him a 6, maybe a 5 again. I don't know. He's been decent recently, and yeah, he's still not good enough, but for 5 maybe.
Yeah, wait, Glenn, quickly. You wanna pin that guy James Crumlish? You wanna pin his comment?
Yeah. Which play is he like talking about? Is it your rating on? James kindly asks you what drugs are you on?
Kindly, look. Let me tell you this, James. You wanna come on the stream and say that to my face? You wanna come say that now? I bet you won't come on. You're too scared. You're probably like 6 years old, mate. So go to sleep. It's probably a bedtime. Take your paracetamol. That's your drugs. Bye-bye. Smash the like on the video, though.
Okay. The next one is Thomas Partey WSL.
I thought he was worse than XHAKA today. I think first half, the passes going forward, excellent. World-class passes. You know, that's the kind of player that we're buying when we spend 45 million on Thomas Partey. The yellow card that he picked up, I see a lot of people criticizing him for it. Like, come on, that's pure. You know that's Simeone tactics that he did there. Pure Simeone tactics, where a big, strong, fast player like Adama Traore is about to sprint at Rob Holding, who, by the way, let's be honest, Rob Holding would have been skinned if Adama Traore properly ran at him. And he said, "No, I'm taking you out. I'm getting a good yellow card here. You know, I'm making sure that we don't do anything stupid," and it paid off. You know, Partey doesn't get stupid yellow cards. He's not like XHAKA. When he gets a yellow card, he meant to do it. He's doing it on purpose to stop the play or to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's Simeone tactics. Simeone's been doing it this season. You know, Marcus Llorente he's been picking up loads of yellow cards, but for good reason. Simeone's been praising him for it, and Partey is the same. But he wasn't. Second half, again, 10 men. I'm not blaming any player for performing badly in the second half, but come on, man. You're a defensive midfielder. He was getting left in the dirt a few too many times. He wasn't putting in enough time. You know, I thought there was a few times in a player would dribble past him where he could have maybe stopped it. He could have possibly won the ball. And I think his passing, again, wasn't the best. It was better than against Man United. But I'll say this. He was another player that today would have got a solid rating if it wasn't for the red cards. I thought his passing went down because of the red cards. You know, he kind of lost a bit. He was a bit frustrated and a bit, you know, it's all gone to shit. So I'm not really in the mood. But yeah, again, I don't blame him. So I give him a 5. But
okay, a 5 for him. Now, that was a very good yellow card to take. For that yellow card, they can actually increase his score by 2 because that is what I want to see. Don't foul players outside the box. Don't do this stuff you can see on screen where XHAKA is headbutting people. Don't do that. If you're taking such a yellow card, because Traore was off and he's quick, he was gone. Like, if he passed there, he was gone. So that was a good yellow card to take. So we're giving him, what did you give him, WSL?
Just a solid 5.
HJ?
Probably one of our best players, and I think he was probably a man of the match in the first half, not just for us, but like overall as well. Doing everything we want to see from him, playing those forward passes from that defensive midfield position, exactly what we want to see. Putting in the tackles in, obviously that tactical one we talked about where he did pick up the yellow card as well. And yeah, overall, again, with the red card and with both the red cards, it does change the situation. So on that one, you can't really blame him. But for today, I'll give him a 6.
Okay, I probably agree with you guys. Maybe 5, maybe I'd agree with WSL and give him a 5. The next one is Nicolas Pepe. The tweet I had before the game, right before the game, was, please, I want Pepe to score today, please. Like, if there are 2 players I really want to score right now, it's Pepe and Willian whenever he plays, because I don't want them to do bad. I really want them to, like, get their confidence up, as HJ90 said, confidence players. Arsenal with confidence players every single time. It's a confidence player. So we need them, but we don't need some of those. So we got rid of players in January, but it looks like we need to get rid of more, because I don't want confidence players at Arsenal. I want players who perform, players who want to play for the shirt, players who want to play and make their families proud, make their coach proud, not confidence players. So what did you give Pepe for today, WSL?
I'm giving him a 7. I think he was the best player, man of the match for me, on our side at least. I think first half he was excellent. We've been asking for Pepe to perform for months, maybe even a year now, and I think Arteta's finally began to figure out what Pepe needs to do, and I'll credit Arteta for this massively. Unai Emery struggled to find what Pepe was good at doing. He struggled to find his best position, etc. Arteta, I originally thought Arteta doesn't actually like Pepe, and that he not that he's not a good player, it's just he's not his kind of player, and that he might sell him or possibly get rid of him in some way. But I think he's finally figured it out. I think he's found a way Pepe can get in his team and perform.
Yeah.
I think he looks 20 times better on the left wing or in the middle than he does on the right. He scored twice now on the left wing in the last 3 games. On the right wing, he ain't scoring anything. You know what I mean? His shots are going wide. He's missing. He's the weak shots, etc. So he looks better on the left. Yeah, I give him a 7. The goal. The goal's people are gonna forget about the goal because the way we lost and the fact that we did lose. But what a goal! Seriously, he won. Let's just go back a little bit. He won the ball from the defender, passed it to Lacazette, got the ball back on the wing. One of the players, the Wolves player, I think it was Kilman. Maybe not. He was pulling his shirt, and the player that was pulling his shirt, whether it was Kilman or Smedo, they actually fell over. And the referee initially thought that was a foul, but it wasn't. It was pulling Pepe's shirt. Pepe then he nutmegs Ruben Neves, and what a finish. But what makes me happy about Pepe is this. Pepe, for me, a few months ago, would have gone down when he was being pulled. And he stayed on his feet. He controlled the ball and he finished it, and what a goal. And it was his weak foot as well. Look at how many chances he's on his right foot and he's just skied them. Oh, they've gone wide. What a finish. What a player as well. He's doing really well. The one thing for me you can't do with Pepe right now is drop him or move in position. You've got to keep playing him, and you've got to keep him on the left wing. And this is where Mikel Arteta he has a dilemma. Do you put Aubameyang straight back in on left wing and put Pepe on the right? Because I wouldn't do that. I'll get into where I'd put Aubameyang in a little bit when we talk about another player, but yeah, I think Pepe was the best player today. So a solid 7.
7. HJ, Pepe?
Pepe. Again, I said this earlier with Pepe. He's a player. He is a confidence player. So if you keep playing him, because he's not settled into this league yet, so maybe he can not be a confidence player. He can form into someone who is he's gonna turn up in games. He's gonna play really well. And we just need to keep playing him. I think that's the key right now. And I was the same situation like you, Glenn. I really wanted him to score today because he's someone that if you can get him scoring, get him on the score sheet, keep him playing well, keep his confidence up, then, you move into the next game, give Arteta a dilemma, keep playing him on the left-hand side. And you never know, we might get close to that value of his, the £72 million mark. But for today, I will give him a 6.
Okay, the next one is Saka. I mean, I've always wanted us to score in the first 5 minutes. It's in the last the Southampton away game in the Premier League, Lacazette should have scored in the opening 50 seconds. I don't know. I think it was Chelsea. Smith Rowe should have scored in the first 1 minute. And yeah, I saw someone talking about that. I think it is Daniel saying, when are we going to talk about the strikers missing 3 chances before taking one? That really annoys me though, because if you score that goal very early on, it literally changes the game. But Saka was amazing in those first 15 minutes. It literally showed you why we missed him. If he played against United, he would have won that game. Let's be honest. Whether they win 9-0 or 100-0, if Saka played that game last week, we'd have gotten something away from more from that game. So he was brilliant. What did you give him the WSL?
A 5.
5?
I think that's going to annoy a lot of people. But first 15 minutes, he was amazing. How many goals did he score? 0.
He scored one, but they chalked it off.
I'm sorry, Saka. There's a lot of people, including myself, have said Saka plays higher than the age that he is. He's 19 years old, and he plays like a 25-year-old player that's in his peak. I'm sorry, that first goal, you've got to score that. End of story. You've got to score it. I think as well, the offside goal, it's unlucky. I'll give him his props. What a hit. I'll actually give him a 6 because remembering that the goal, it was a great goal. It wasn't really his fault. I'll give him a 6. But it's that first goal. It's not even the fact that he didn't score it. It's the fact, the manner, look at what else happened in the game. If he'd have scored in the first 35 seconds, which is when it was taken, the game would have been over. I'm sorry, it would have done. Wolves have been in a horrible run of form. They're actually, if you look at the form table, they're the worst in the league. Obviously not right now after they just beat us. but they were the worst in the league. I think behind Fulham, they were the second. Like they'd won the least amount of games in the last 10 games out of Fulham. So they've been awful. Scoring earlier, 30-second goal would have ended the game. He didn't score it. It just upsets me that we didn't get to score. But second half, what did he really bring as well? Again, you can't blame a player for playing poorly in the second half, but what did he really bring? What did he do that really gave us an opportunity to score? And I don't think anything. So I'll give him a 6.
But with 10 men on the pitch, though. Okay, what did you give him?
6.
I gave him a 5.
6.
For me, yeah.
5, because after the first 15 minutes, what do you do? I'm not too sure.
Exactly.
What do you do after the first 15 minutes? A football match is 90 minutes, not 15 minutes. I completely agree with WSL there. But otherwise, the 15 minutes was pretty bang average, to be honest. And I'll give him a 5.
Well, I won't say anything. Let me know in the chat what you guys would give Saka for today. Let me know what you'd give Saka. I thought he was better than that, probably first or second best player today. But hey, maybe he didn't do anything. Literally, no one did anything anyway in the second half. So the next one is Smith Rowe, WSL.
For Smith Rowe, I think he's tired. I didn't
want him to start. I wanted Odegaard to start.
I think he's unfit.
Too many games.
I think he's unfit. I think he's tired. I think he needs a rest. I think a lot of people are going to say, "Oh yeah, but he plays for Arsenal. He's got to play all these games." Come on. The first ever game in the Premier League for Smith Rowe was against Chelsea earlier on. He doesn't have Premier League fitness yet. He's not a Premier League fit player yet. He needs to be rested and given time to get up to the fitness levels of the Premier League. And I think he needs a rest. I think Odegaard was coming on. I think he was the third substitution until Leno went and did something stupid. So if Smith Rowe if he picked up a muscle tear because of the amount of games he's been playing, blame Leno, because Leno got sent off when I think, again, Odegaard for me was coming on the pitch. I think Smith Rowe needs a rest. I think against Aston Villa, I'm starting Odegaard. End of story. I don't care how fit or ready Odegaard is. He's playing for me. I kind of feel sorry for Smith Rowe as well, because a lot of people are criticising him, saying, "Oh, was it just a few games, this and that." Cut him some slack, but he gets a 4. He didn't really do much. Again, first 15 minutes he was pretty good, but like Saka, he started to die off a bit. And second half, again, you can't blame any player for playing poorly in the second half, but 4 for me.
For WSL, 4 for WSL, HJ.
I agree with WSL. To be honest, with Smith Rowe, he needs a rest now, because he got forced into the team against Chelsea. No one was expecting it, and now he's played basically every single game since, and he's basically been carrying the game. How do you expect a 19, 20-year-old who's just come into the Premier League to be literally carrying you? Like, come on. He needs rest, and I think, I agree. I'd probably start Odegaard against Aston Villa, because he needs just a bit of time off, just, a breather, just to get himself up to speed again, see where he's at, and then we go again. And Smith Rowe today, he didn't offer us loads, to be honest. He didn't get on the ball as much as we wanted him to. Most of the creativity was coming down Thomas Partey's side, putting the balls over the top. So for Smith Rowe today, agree with Sweetie in the chat and WSL 4 and BK as well.
So I'm going to ask you again, WSL, do you think, and anyone in the chat, do you think Smith Rowe can play in that position where XHAKA is there?
Where XHAKA is? No. I think he's too attacking. I think you'd be wasting him. I don't think defensively he's overly good as well. Not that that's anything to criticise him for.
Okay, how about Partey in the base and then Odegaard and Smith Rowe either side of him?
I think Odegaard would be better if you're going to if you're going to take out XHAKA. I think Odegaard would be better to sit in that position, because I think Odegaard he might bring a little bit more defensively. I think his long balls are much better than Smith Rowe's as well. So it's like him sitting deep, like Partey does, hitting them long balls. And I think Partey is a strong enough player to defend it by himself. I think he could say to Odegaard every now and then, "Yeah, go run forward, go be a part of the, go be a part of the attack. I'll sit back and defend for a bit." I think XHAKA sometimes is too defensive. I think he doesn't run, he's too defensive to the point where we don't have enough going forward. We maybe just need that one extra player.
Yeah.
I don't mean against like Man United and stuff, but like against West Brom, like, why are you sitting back and defending? You're 3-0 up, like go at them, you know what I mean? Like go and get a goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ødegaard maybe, but not Smith Rowe.
Okay. I don't think they can fit in the same side. I don't think Ødegaard and Smith Rowe can fit in the same team. But I don't think it's possible.
I don't either.
Will become a bit too unbalanced. I just don't think.
Okay. The last one from the starting lineup, HJ is LACAZETTE, 45 minutes.
He played all right.
Not an assist though. Apparently, that is an assist in FPL.
Yeah. He didn't do loads. He had a few good moments, again, linking up the play a few times, but he didn't do loads for me. And I'll give him a 4 for today, only because he didn't do loads. He was on for 45 minutes. Again, a good 45 minutes, but I just don't think he offered that much to the game to kill it off or finish the game off. I just don't think I saw enough from him today. So 4.
WSL, he could have had at least 3 assists in that first half. The goals were disallowed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think for the goal that was disallowed, you can blame Lacazette for being offside because it wasn't like a toe or like a little centimetre. It was pretty much offside. So you can maybe say it with him, you've got to watch that line. You've got to be more careful. You've got to know where you are on the pitch. But he got the assist for Pepe's goal, whether it even really was an assist or not. It was simply just a bit of a tiki-taka pass. Like, it was just straight back to him. But, the numbers matter. When we look back at the end of the season, you're going to look back at today and you're going to say, well, he got an assist. You're not really going to look at the manner of the assist. You're just going to say he got the assist. So for me, just that alone gets a 5. I think overall he was decent. And I don't think he should have been brought off the pitch. When we get to Aubameyang, I'll explain more why, but I think it was a bit unfortunate that he was the player sacrificed. I'd have actually taken off Smith Rowe because not even just because Smith Rowe wasn't doing much, but he just looked tired. He looked really unfit. I think we all know what he looked like. He looks tired and stuff. But 5 for Lacazette.
Here's Jay Lacazette.
As I already said, I said 4 because again he sort of looks tired. But again, some of these players like Lacazette, Smith Rowe, could even throw Saka into it, even throw Tierney into it because he's played a lot of games. And Saka had the sore hip. Tierney's, I don't know what's going on with Tierney. And it's
worrying me.
Some of these players, they just keep playing, and that's why you need squad depth because you need to rotate these players when you're playing every 2-3 days. So
we have Balogun, but he doesn't play him. So
what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll give him a 4 for today, though.
Lacazette, and then the next one is Gabriel. According to the stats and to the player of the month and stuff, Gabriel is our player of the season, and he doesn't even start anymore. WSL, are we saying Holding and Luiz have overtaken him?
No, I think it's the more with Gabriel. I think obviously he had the COVID, he had the suspension. I think recovering from that will take a while for him. You got to remember, as an athlete, getting COVID can damage you as an athlete. Like, you're used to being this like strong, physically able person to a person that might be reduced to bed for a few good weeks. And then you might have the breathing difficulties and that kind of stuff. So as an athlete, I think athletes might actually get hit harder in certain cases, but we don't know how bad the case was. And obviously we don't know really much about Gabriel in terms of how he's doing mentally as well. You don't know what he might be doing, going through something, but I think it's more the fact that the way he played against Southampton, he doesn't deserve to play. Luiz was playing better. For me, I ain't about that sentiment stuff. For example, if I love Saka, because I do love Saka, if 3 other players are playing better than Saka, I don't want him playing. I want someone else playing. So for me, I love Gabriel. I absolutely adore him. I think he'll be one of our future good centre-backs. But I think because he's not playing as good as David Luiz and Pablo Mari was, you can't play him. But I'll say this. I was really worried when Luiz got red carded because I thought Mari is not going to be back in time. And I thought, Gabriel's not going to play well either. But when he came on, he was solid. And I think against Villa, obviously we know the last time he played against Villa, we conceded 3. But I think he'll do a decent job. I think hopefully this means that he can play from now on. I think this will be his chance to prove to Arteta that I'm the centre back. You know, it's you play me from now on. So hopefully he can show that. But today I'll give him a 5, decent 5. You know, again, can't give him much higher than that because he came on when there was 10 men. So
okay, I want to give you the other sub because of time. RUNARSSON.
Yeah. I thought he did well. Because you know, I would give him a 6 only because he made some good saves. Yes, he made the odd wrong pass or something, but again, when you're a player that again was hit hard with abuse after that Man City game, you obviously that's going to mentally hurt you, especially when the club go out and sign another goalkeeper. But then you've been given the chance against, you know, suddenly be given your Premier League debut. I thought he did all right. A 6. I'll give him praise where praise is due.
Can I just quickly add as well, that free kick in the last few minutes was a wonderful free kick from RUNARSSON.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he should be taking our corners. He should be taking our corners. This guy was. I mean, Saka and Willian and Pepe, they're not that very good. Okay, Saka has had a couple of good corners, but most of the times he hits the first man. RUNARSSON should be taking our corners. Maybe after all, he's not a goalkeeper. Maybe he's an attacking midfielder. Maybe he's the guy. Maybe he should put Ryan at left back. And then since Tien is not there, let's try him at left back.
Get rid of Bellerin and get RUNARSSON on right back.
That was a very good cross. Like if he's going to cross that, you need to find a new position for him. And how the hell is Matt Ryan injured without playing a game? I think these players every time they join us, they're like, "Cuss." I don't understand it.
He has a hip injury, I think.
Yeah, it's a hip injury.
Yeah, without playing. All these Arsenal players, PARTEY never got an injury at Atletico. He had 3 injuries at Arsenal already. Aubameyang, you wanted Aubameyang, WSL?
I think it was the wrong substitution to make. I'm not blaming Arteta for the loss, but I'm blaming him for this substitution. I think it was absolutely atrocious that Aubameyang's coming on for 2 reasons. You bring off Lacazette because you want to play counter-attacking football, but then you bring on another striker in Aubameyang. What was the point of bringing off Lacazette then? As well, I think at the time we're 2-1 down, we need someone to give us a bit of energy and passion for us to go and score a goal. And I think Martinelli would have brought that. You know, the kid's hungry. He wants a goal. He's starving for a goal, let's be honest. You know, he really wants a goal. I think with Martinelli, Aubameyang came on and you know what he said? Oh, it's 10 men. We're 2-1 down. I'm not bothering. Martinelli's coming on and he doesn't care what the score is. He doesn't care how many men are on the pitch. He does not care. For Martinelli, it's a matter of we need to score a goal and I'm going to go and do that. And I think he'd have just been the better player to bring on. I think Aubameyang as well, he's not, you know, he scored twice the other week, but he hasn't been, overall, don't let that cloud your mind on Aubameyang. He's not been good enough this season for Arsenal Football Club. Not that I'm giving up on him in any way, shape or form, but in matter of form, Martinelli's been better. So I think Martinelli would have been the better option to bring on. Aubameyang didn't really get to do anything though. He had one decent chance that he maybe could have done something with. So I'll give him a 4, but yeah, I think Arteta, it was a silly substitution. I think it was more of a, you know, if anybody's going to score a goal, it's going to be Aubameyang, but he didn't. So,
HJ, Aubameyang, anything to add?
No, not really anything more to add on Aubameyang, to be honest. But I think, yeah, on overall, I think Aubameyang was the right one. He needed a bit of a confidence boost, and he had that one chance. Again, if he puts that in the back of the net, that's a good confidence booster for him. Sure. You know, with the situations that are going on. So I think it was just a chance that Arteta put on his, you know, main captain. So I wouldn't really disagree with that substitution too much.
Okay, so before we get into Arteta, George asks, just as his name says, his football opinion. Can you answer this, please? Leno has made an attempt to chase the ball out as the bounce catches him off guard. He has to move his hand to get the direction. Or it would have gone to Moutinho.
Yeah, why are you using your hand?
No. I initially thought the same thing, right? You can even go back in the video. I said when I rated Leno that I didn't actually think he meant to handball it and that it was a matter of it was an accident. I'm looking back at it now and I've literally rewatched it during the stream and he jumps with his hand in a position where he's slapping it away.
Exactly.
Like,
that's why
it's like he's playing tennis. He's slapping the ball away because I think he's going to knee the ball and he thinks that he's either going to knee the player or that he's going to knee the ball straight into the player's path and they're going to score. So for me, he brought the knee up to hide the fact that he's going to handball it. Like, mate, there's like 500 cameras around the stadium recording you, and you've got VAR. It was stupidity. I think at that point he lost his head. I think he just had a lapse in judgment. And this is the thing with Leno. I love him, but there's always once every season he has a lapse in judgment where he comes for a cross too early and it goes in, or he does something like this. It's not good enough. You know, he needs to get these lapses of judgment out of his game. Otherwise, people are going to keep questioning, why did we sell Martinez? I'm not questioning that, but obviously, HJ, you said that we sold the best keeper, and that's your opinion. But I mean, I can't defend Leno tonight. There's no way I can defend Leno tonight.
I love Leno as well, but I just think Martinez was better as an overall keeper. But I think, yeah, I agree with that. Leno is one of them players who deserve one stupidity. Again, it's the same with so many of our players. They always have one stupid moment in them, and we just need to get rid of that. Obviously, last season, it was the Jorginho Chelsea thing with Leno last season.
The only thing I'll say with that, the moment I thought that David Luiz had tripped that guy purposely, I was like, just let him score. We can go back and get 2 goals. So even if the game was nailed in and Leno did that, I would have been just let him score. We have 25 minutes to try and get a goal, but don't go down to 9 men, 10 men, because that literally damages you totally. So I'm always saying, just let him score. Because I remember against Chelsea, against Tammy, he fouled him. Just let him score and then don't get that red card.
Well, yeah, exactly. And CEDRIC might have been able to get back in time to like block a shot or something. Like, again, it's a matter of it's one of those where it wasn't either concede a goal or get the red card. It was get the red card or we don't know. We don't know what could have happened. So it's just stupid. It was just a lapse in judgment. Yeah,
wondering about rules. I had them in my opposition preview. They're saying you guys are fortunate tonight. All the luck was certainly with Wolves. Best wishes for the rest of the season. Just as your name says, I'm also wondering about Wolves. I'm wondering how you managed to do a double against us this season. Literally can't believe it. We've only beaten them once in 6 games.
This might save Nuno's job. This might save Nuno's job.
Since 1978 against us.
I've seen a lot of Wolves fans questioning Nuno recently, and I think this could just save his job. Maybe the Wolves fans won't agree with that, but
these guys wanted Moutinho and Patricio to be dropped because of poor performances in the last few games, and then they turn up against us. Yeah, the last one, WSL, is Arteta. We look for comments about Arteta as you tell us about Arteta.
I'm gonna give him a 5. You know, I don't blame him for the loss in any way, shape, or form. In some senses, I'm beginning to feel sorry for Arteta in cases like this. It wasn't his fault. Like, he can't anticipate. People are blaming him for playing Luiz. Like, just shut up. Like, he was man of the match against Manchester United. Like, you ain't dropping a man of the match performer. Like, come on, that ain't gonna happen. I think as well. You know, he doesn't know what Luiz is going to do. And if you actually read his post-match interview, he's come out and he's actually backing up David Luiz, and he thinks it wasn't a red card. And that's not just him protecting his players. He actually said with Leno, it was just stupidity. So his own opinion is that it wasn't a red card. And he's hoping that Arsenal appeal it. Whether that's going to go through or not, I doubt it. But yeah, 5, it wasn't his fault. But I'll say this about Arteta. If a plan doesn't go to plan, if his strategies don't go to plan, if something goes wrong in the game, we lose. And we've seen it twice already now under Arteta. If you remember the Man City game, you know, after like we had the massive break for COVID and then we played against Man City, I think it was last season, we conceded really early. I think XHAKA got injured, Mari got injured, and the game was over. Like, we couldn't get back into the game.
Luiz made a mistake twice.
He doesn't have a backup plan. He doesn't have... Like, if something goes wrong, he doesn't know what to do. And I think this is because he was managing, but he was like under Pep Guardiola. And what I mean by this is, whereas a Ralph Hasenhüttl will look to his assistant manager in a bad scenario and say, what do I do here? Pep Guardiola is so good, he doesn't need to do that. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't need an assistant manager to tell him what to do. So Arteta really never got called up to do that. And I think as well, look at Pep Guardiola. When things don't go to his plans, Man City lose. Like, look at Leicester City when they beat them 5-2. They conceded some penalties and the game was over. He didn't know what to do to get back in the game. So I think it's Arteta's experience. And I'll say it again. I think he can be a very good manager. Whereas Frank Lampard, I think he's just a trash manager. I think he can be really good. He just needs the experience. And I don't want Arsenal to be like a work experience type thing. I want him to go and get work experience somewhere else and then come back, or go somewhere else.
Absolutely keep disagreeing with you. That this is the highest rating I'm going to give someone after a loss. Because I can see Roxington, he's the one that said something about Arteta. This is the second one where he said that he was holding them back. I don't agree that we played the best attacking football we've played in the whole season in that first 20 minutes. We created like seven chances or something like that. We could have had 5, could have been up 5-0 in that first half. And this is another thing I'll tell you. Under Wenger, true or false, every time we got a red card, we ended up losing 6-0. 8-2, 5-1, 4-0. Even Crystal Palace beat us 3-0 at Selhurst Park. Even Newcastle scored 3 goals against us. I remember West Brom scoring 3 goals against us at the Hawthorns. We have the second best defensive record. I don't know how fight has gone after today, but we have the second best defensive record because of his tactics, whether you like it or not. And Holding and Luiz were supposed to be sold at the start of the season. And right now they're playing ahead of Gabriel. As WSL said, he was the man of the match against United. Who improved them? Did they just improve by themselves? I don't think so. I think Arteta's improved them. I think Arteta's improved those centre-backs, those 2 of them. And we played attacking football today, and we could easily have gotten a point even with 9 men if something went for us in that last minute when we had that chance, like half a chance. So for me, I'm happy that we never ended up conceding 4 or 5 goals. It wasn't his fault. Yes, I give him a 7, not a 10, because XG90 said Aubameyang and those substitutions, some of them, or as you said about the substitution, not all of them are very nice. So I'd actually give him a 7 because I thought we were very unlucky in that first half. HJ?
I'll give him an 8 out of 10. It's not his fault. Red card, those red cards are not his fault. He cannot legislate. What does he do? When you're down to 9 men, what can he do? In the first 44 minutes, we played amazing football. But when you have David Luiz doing David Luiz things, I know, yes, he's got the experience before, so he said learn how to do it. But your only option against this Wolves side is to just sit back. Because if you start playing expansive football with 10-9 men, they're just going to pick you apart with Podence, Neto, Adama, all these tricky, technical, pacey merchant players. They're going to pick you apart. It's obvious. So the plan was just to sit back. And you're not going to win the game sitting back. Arteta did the best he could tactically. He did the best he could when he got down to 9 men. Just sit back. We got 1 chance and Aubameyang didn't put it away. What more can you say? I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for today. It's not his fault. Maybe the substitute, which is why obviously the 2 marks dropped from 10, but it wasn't. Arteta was good today, and the lineup was what we expected.
And that is HJ90 saying that I've done this is like the 9th, 10th reaction I'm doing with HJ this season, and maybe even 20 because we've done some on other channels. Because I remember him saying against the Aston Villa game when he lost 3-0. All these people were Arteta out, and I was the only one that said let's let Arteta get until January. So again, I can see George asking about the red card. The only thing I'll tell you is that was a red card. Can you imagine that? That on screen right now wasn't a red card. Mane to Tierney. Fernandes to XHAKA wasn't a red card. Trent Alexander-Arnold wasn't a red card. That's all I can say to you. I don't know. HJ90 says there's nothing with the referees, but he still believes it's the referees. So, man of the match, WSL?
Pepe.
Pepe. HJ?
Partey.
Prediction for Aston Villa, WSL?
I don't know. I think it really depends on, again, who he plays. If Smith Rowe plays in a nice way, I think we're not going to play well because he's not fit. He needs to be rested. If Gabriel performs, which I don't know whether he is going to do, it depends. And I think as well the same thing. RUNARSSON ain't good enough. End of story. I don't care how well he played for the first 30-odd minutes today. Going up against an off-form Podence and an off-form Willian Jose to Jack Grealish and Ollie Watkins is different.
Barkley's back as well.
Jack Grealish is going to be hitting long shots against RUNARSSON like it's nothing. RUNARSSON has Kit Kat fingers. Like I saw someone say that in another stream that he has Kit Kat fingers. Jack Grealish is going to look at that and say, right, we're hitting long shots. We're hitting long shots today. That's all we have to do. Get in space, hit long shots. That's all we're going to do today. Because Jack Grealish himself is a tactical person, which is why I love him. because he's not just a captain; he's a tactical captain. I want to say Arsenal will win, but I think Villa will win. I think it'll be 2-0 Villa. I don't see us doing anything against them. Seriously, I don't. I think it's just going to be. I think it's going to go downhill again. It's going to be exactly like it was at Christmas. We lose one game, and we lose another odd. I've said it tonight. I think our season's over. I don't see us getting top 4 or even top 6. We had a chance to go 6th today, and we're now what? We're going to be 12th by tomorrow. So. It's not good enough.
No, we're not. We did not lose today because we played poorly. HJ, prediction?
I agree with WSL. It's one of them ones when it goes bad for these players, their heads just drop. And this manager, too inexperienced to know how to pick their heads back up. Because remember earlier in the season when we lose one game, we just keep going on a slump. It could easily happen again. This is why I told you before this game, these next 3 games are so big for us because this next month or so, even this next 3 games before this Wolves game, and now because we've lost this Wolves game, including the 2 red cards in the fashion that it happened, it's gonna be again sentiment saying in the chat, Grealish versus Bellerin. Oh my God, not again, please. He's gonna send him
our captain, Arsenal's captain. Arsenal's captain.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. And I think we're going to lose to Aston Villa. We're not going to have Leno either. I think Arteta's the kind of guy who'll probably stick with Smith Rowe, even though he's, tired, fitness problems. And same with LACAZETTE. We'll just have to see what happens. But we'll just have to cross our fingers and see if Aston Villa are on a bad day because it's so unpredictable nowadays. But what can you do?
I don't agree with them. We'll be back on Saturday. It's the early kickoff on Saturday, and I'm giving my prediction now. Aston Villa to get 2 goals and Arsenal to score 4. You had that WSNHD 90. 4-2 to Arsenal. We should have had 5 goals in that first 10 minutes. We were very unlucky to lose that game. I'm not blaming anyone for today's loss. So save it.
I just want to quickly say this. Pepe, for me, is a big talking point because Pepe, for me, is the kind of player who today has scored a wonderful goal but has been let down by his teammates. For me, Pepe is the kind of player that he's going to let his head drop with this. Don't ask me why my lights are changing.
Bring back William.
Absolutely not. But this is the thing, right? Pepe, for me, I don't know whether he's gonna let this kind of affect him, and I have a feeling that he will, in the sense that he scored a great goal but was let down, so he's going to make his head drop. And I think, like HJ said, what the hell is going on with my light? Sorry about that. Like HJ said, I think it's
epilepsy alert.
Yeah, sorry about this. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'll turn my camera off.
It's trying to prove you that you're gonna be having shining lights on Saturday.
Yeah. What I was trying to say really quickly was, like HJ said, Arteta doesn't have the experience to keep these players' heads up. So it's up to the players. So we'll see what they do. But
awesome, man. Do me 4 favors. Make sure you leave a like on the video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you head over to WSL FC and subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of women content, women's football, and go subscribe to HT90. We did something earlier on today. Is it today? Yeah, rating the transfer window. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Saturday, we have another game, another early kickoff, just like the Southampton game. The last time we had that, we did a watch along with WSL and we lost the game to Southampton. Let's hope for a different outcome this time. The last time we did a watch along, we lost. I think we need to consider that. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.